Hey, Marcus, Arash from Sportsnet. I'm one of the TV reporters who covers the team. Nice to meet you, 2021 style. I'm just wondering, as you and Bo kind of get into this early on in camp and then as games go on, what are the things that you feel is most important for that middle of the infield duo to work on, to get on the same page, develop chemistry, communication, all those kinds of things?
Well, I think just working together. The coaching staff here has put us together to do everything today. Hit, throw together, take ground balls together, turn double plays, and we have very similar mindsets to where we work really hard. We, he when I'm feeding him throws to second base, he said, "Hey, just throw it anywhere. I'll adjust, whatever." I was the same way when I was playing shortstop, so I'm excited to work with him, and I'm very impressed with how he looks.
When do you know as a player you're quote unquote on the same page?
I'm sure in spring training when we make some plays together, turn some double plays, help the ball club win with something we did together up the middle. I'm sure that we'll see that, but I think that we're already on our way with the way we've been working.
Thanks, man.
Next up is Buck.
Welcome, Marcus. Buck Martinez here. A couple years ago, you made a dramatic improvement defensively, and I know you were working with Ron Washington at the time in Oakland. And in my mind, Ron's one of the best coaches in baseball. Are there things that Wash told you that you still utilize today, and that you might mention to Louis Rivera as something to check on you to make sure you're doing the things that allow you to be the best defender you can be?
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people have caught on to what Wash has been doing for years. For me, the flat glove, the small glove, those are things that Louis already had today, and we did that. Bo already has a flat glove, so it seems like Wash is in. He's had a huge impact on all of baseball, not just the people he's worked with. And we did some good things today with me at second base, so I'm just going to keep working on that every day.
You moved from shortstop to second base, and obviously you became a premier shortstop. Now, what kind of adjustment is it? Is it similar in that you're in the middle of the diamond as opposed to possibly playing third? Is that an easier transition than it might be from shortstop to third base?
I think so. Just the angle off the bat from a righty. A lot more balls that slice away from you. The double play turn and double play feed are the biggest things for me that I will work on every day. It felt pretty natural today. I've been working on it in the off season, and now we were able to get on the field every day and do it with the coaches and have Bo feed. And today went smooth, and I think it's going to get better every day.
Thank you.
Your turn, Ben.
Hey, Marcus. Thanks for the time. Wondering, as someone who played pretty much his entire career until this point in a very small market and has been a shortstop up until now anyways, what do you make of the Fernando Tatis Jr. extension for a small market team like that to spend $340 million on a player who's, obviously an incredible player, and kind of make that commitment to a guy at 22 years old?
Well, I think they see what kind of impact he has on that team. They became a playoff team, right when he got there, pretty much. The A's played against the Padres last year in Oakland, and they were on another level, and you could tell that their shortstop was one of the biggest reasons why. And it seems like their GM and their ownership is really going for it right now, and it's a desirable place to go. And I think step one for them, if they want to make a run at it, is signing their best player. So they've got some good players, and hopefully one day we meet in the World Series.
For sure. Thanks.
Okay, next is Arden.
Hey, Marcus. Obviously, you were dealing with that torso injury early on last year, which, I imagine that's pretty limiting as a hitter. Can you just sort of describe the difference you feel taking swings now? Is there anything you're able to do athletically today that maybe you couldn't last year?
Yeah, it was last year was tough, just coming off of the long break. A lot of players couldn't train the way they wanted to once we got shut down from spring training and going into July of 2020. I just didn't feel as strong. And that's fine, but your body needs to adjust once you get into, live at bats, and it's a tough game to play if you're not at your strongest. And I got to a point where I didn't hit much BP on the field. I tried to manage it every day so I could be ready for 7 o'clock. And I felt like I was proud of the way I managed it, even though the numbers didn't necessarily look great. I was able to finish the season strong and get healthy by the end while not missing too many games. So that's something that I take pride in, is being on the field, no matter what you may be playing through, because eventually it will get better.
And we were just talking to Bo, and he said one thing he really admires about your career is just the way you've sort of continually improved and gotten better year to year. And I guess I'm just curious about your philosophy on that process defensively. Like, do you try to make the majority of your gains over the winter, or can you find ways like in season to still make substantial progress even with everything else you got to worry about?
I think it's both. I think that I can tell Bo's been working in the off season on, everything. I haven't seen much of him, just video, because we didn't play against each other, but you can tell that he's made adjustments and he feels good with them. But once you get into the season, and first of all, spring training games and season games, you start to make some plays that build your confidence. And that's the way that I felt like I got better, was, hey, wow, I can make this play in a game and impact this game with my glove. And now I'm confident, and next year I'm going to do even more. And that's what, I've taken pride in every year, is just building off what I did in the season. And, I'm excited because second base is a new venture for me, but at the same time, it's still up the middle.
Great. Thanks, man.
We'll go to Dan.
Hey, Marcus, Dan Schulman. Nice to meet you. Thanks for doing this. Just curious, when the Blue Jays first reached out to you, how aware of you were you of their core? How much did it factor into your decision that they certainly appear to be a team on the rise?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we didn't see them in 2020, and I think last year we played against them on Vladdy's debut. So you see the excitement, and you hear about the other kids coming up, and then and last year they made the playoffs. So now with the short season under their belt, we get a full season, coming up here. I think there's a level of confidence that's, I'm excited about, and they've brought in veteran guys to kind of show them the way and how to navigate a full season. And a lot of these guys may have, more talent than the vets, but I think when you get the, experience and mesh it together with the talent, it's going to be something special. I think that we just need to take it day by day and not get ahead of ourselves. And, we're going to get better as time goes on, but I like where we're starting right now.
One follow-up, if I could. So you're new to the team, but you've got that experience. Do you let the younger kids come to you? How soon do you feel comfortable imparting that wisdom to the younger kids?
Well, the good thing is everybody's been pretty vocal. Nobody has shied away from coming up to me and asking anything. A lot of times we just compare, okay, what was it like in Oakland? What did you guys do for this? And what I've noticed here in Toronto is that there's a lot more staff here to, help you work on your game. And that's something that I'm excited about. I'm going to utilize every resource I can to get better. And these young kids are lucky to have all this, because everybody here wants to win a championship right now. And you can tell, right? You can tell just, from day one.
Thank you.
Your turn, Scott.
Hey, Marcus, thanks for the time. Just going back to the Tatis extension, I just want to get your thoughts on kind of generally, you're involved with the PA, you've now gone through free agency. What are your thoughts on those types of deals for players in general, and whether, you should bet on yourself or kind of take that certainty?
Yeah, I mean, it's everybody's decision. I think he made the right decision. He's the highest paid. It's one of the best contracts out there in baseball. He's only 21, I believe. So I know when I was 21, I was still in the minors, just grinding check to check. So I think that he's definitely set himself up for life, and he earned it. Well, you never know how it pans out. I mean, if he would have waited, who knows? Maybe he got more, but we just don't know. So I think he made a great decision for himself.
Great. Thank you.
Your turn, Caitlin.
Hey, Marcus. You mentioned before when you talked to us that you're a routine-oriented person, and I would assume that last year was a mental grind for you and everybody probably in the league. And I'm wondering if going through it last year helps prepare you for the mental grind that will still be there this year because you still will be under some protocols, or if there's sort of strategies that you thought of in the off season to better maybe prepare yourself for what could also be a bit of an uncertain year.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is just that we have the testing. You know, we get testing every day, and we get results, and we have the peace of mind that the people around us are negative, and we also wear masks in the clubhouse. So just trying to keep each other healthy is number one. I think we're doing a good job of that so far. You know, the protocols have gotten a little stricter for good reason. I mean, the world is in a tough place still, and coming from Northern California, where my family lives in the off season, you see that every day. So this feels like the safest place to be. I'm just happy to be able to get to work, and everybody's doing a good job here. So we'll obviously last year did help us with what we're going into this year, but I'm looking forward to a full season.
Obviously, like winning can help keep a clubhouse light, but what are other ways that can keep it light, just given that, like, again, it's going to be a weird year?
There's a lot of things. I mean, we I think listening to music together in the clubhouse, just everybody getting to know each other. And, it seems like these young guys came up together, so they know each other really well. But for some of the new guys coming in, just to learn about their teammates and, text threads, we all talk throughout the day, not just here. So that stuff's going to be important just throughout the season, because you want to know how your teammates react during adversity, just so you can kind of help them get out of it quicker. And there's no doubt there will be adversity during this season. So the quicker you get out of it, the more games you win.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Marcus, thanks for doing this. I wanted to ask, and maybe this is a better question for later in the spring, but how's it been getting acclimated to your first spring training in Florida? And with COVID, you're not getting the real Florida experience, I'm sure, but what's it like now being on the other side?
I love it. I love the facility here. The Tampa area is beautiful. So, this is all new to my family, but we're very comfortable here, and we're getting to know the area a little bit, and obviously staying safe at the same time. So I brought my family here, my wife, my 3 kids, and so far so good.
And historically, the last, 4 years, you've been a guy who's always hit in the top of the lineup pretty much. This is a team full of guys who can hit in the top of the lineup. How do you see yourself fitting in that way?
I don't know. I mean, it's a good problem to have for sure. So we will see how the lineup pans out, but everybody is starting to, get their feet under them and swing the bat a little bit more. And once we start facing lives and having games, they'll have an easy or just a better idea of how the lineup will shape up. But for me, I feel like I'm a guy who can run well and get on base and score runs. So we'll see how I fit in this lineup. But we do have a lot of guys who can do those things.
Do you have a preference?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've hit all over the lineup in Oakland. I think that I had my best year hitting leadoff, and that was an adjustment in itself. But it's just something that I got comfortable with, just hitting in the first inning. But anywhere I hit in the lineup, I'll be able to get used to and help the ball club win games.
All right, thanks.
Okay, we'll go to Laura.
Hey, Marcus, Laura Armstrong from the Toronto Star. Nice to meet you from afar. You mentioned the abundance of staff that the Jays have. Is there anybody that you're, working closely with at this point, or any area that you're particularly interested in diving into that maybe you weren't able to in Oakland?
Let's see. I mean, the strength staff, the training staff, I think I'm excited to not only use this brand new facility, but just use all the information they have. The dietitians, they break everything down. And these are a lot of things that I haven't done as a 30-year-old professional baseball player. These are a lot of things that are new to me. so far these last 2 days, I've learned a lot, and I think it's going to make me a better player. And I see why the Blue Jays are having so much success, because they have so many good resources that everybody wants to use.
Okay. In terms of touching base with Bo, were you able to reach out to him over the off season before you guys reported, or is this the first time you guys are really interacting?
Yeah, we talked the day I signed, pretty much, or the day we agreed. We talked. I talked to Kevin, Jansen, a couple other guys. Just, they got my number, and George, same thing. We all talked, and everybody's just excited. And I think it's an exciting time to have the Blue Jays adding, pieces. And I think that with this young group and the new pieces we have, we're just gonna have to learn how to play together, and it'll be a beautiful thing.
Cool. Thank you.
And now Arden.
Hey, just following up a little bit on that resources and some of the tools you want to take advantage of. Like as a hitter, do you more appreciate sort of feedback on things physically, like mechanically, what you're doing in the box, or do you more appreciate maybe an approach feedback and some mental feedback on what you're carrying into the game?
Well, at this level, it's both. You have to be able to do both. A lot of times I do things based off feel. I do want to see it on video, but I don't want to get caught up in how it looks on video if it doesn't feel comfortable. So approach is always something that every player is working on. So I'd say that in this league, and especially in the AL East, with all the competition and good pitching, you have to stay on top of both of those things.
And then even on like a nightly basis in season, as you're preparing for a game, what kind of information like do you find valuable and do you like to kind of look at as you get ready to go out and face a guy?
Well, for me, looking at my swing and where I'm at and what pitches I'm laying off of, or what feel I have in the box to help me lay off certain pitches or to attack certain pitches the right way. And I just want to remember that feeling once I get in the box the next day. And of course, watching the opposing pitchers, the starting pitcher the next day, I'll watch video on him the night before. And then once you get to the ballpark, kind of go over him a little bit more, because you don't want to be surprised once you get in that box against him.
Cool. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for your time today, Marcus.